All right, everyone. Welcome to the post day 3 live reaction podcast. If you're watching us here on Instagram, just notifying you, go on over to our YouTube channel. You can go and watch this live. It is in our story. Once again, if you want to go and see this live reaction to our what's going on with the Olympic trials, go on over to our YouTube. It's in our story, Track World News on YouTube. Go through and check it out. We're going to be leaving here in a second, so we're not going to be on Instagram. We're going to be heading on over to YouTube. So if you want to go, is Track World News on YouTube. So go through and watch that. I'll see you on over there. We'll be talking everything with the sprints, all the events that we had going on. It was an absolutely crazy day. But go on over to YouTube and I'll see you there. Peace. All right. So, wow. What did we just watch? So, they're still going through the interviews, but an amazing competition finish for day 3 of the Olympic trials. We had Noah Lyles winning the 100 meters in excellent fashion, looking really good there. Kenny Bednarek coming in second place, and then Fred Kerley getting the third place finish. Let's talk about all of that as people start to fold on in. So, let's start it off with the prelims of what we saw kind of coming into here. So coming into the prelims, first we had, Noah Lyles wearing his, with his, what character was it that he had? It was, he had the Blue Eyes White Dragon card the other day, and he had the Exodia, I guess it was today. Crazy stuff. Looking really good. He looked very smooth in the prelims of his race. His start probably wasn't as good, I think, but his prelim or his what's it called? His semifinal, still very good, still very solid. And so I was like, all right, I feel like he's still going to be able to take it. He's still going to be able to get this win, get this W. And then we also saw coming through, he was going up against Kenny Bednarek. Those two just back and forth. They were in every single heat together. Noah and Kenny right next to each other, back to back to back. They just always were going up against each other, and great competition. We saw Christian Miller. Will he be selected for this 100-meter relay pool? He might. Like, I think people are overlooking that. Christian Miller comes in 6th place. He might be able to get in this relay pool and everything. We'll have to see. And then, of course, Fred Kerley, with all the craziness of what's going on in his world, to still go and see him come through and make this team. I didn't have him making this team. I thought it was going to just be way too much craziness that was going on. Clearly, I am absolutely wrong, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But really cool to go through and see it. So let's break down the race itself. How did it go? So Christian Coleman got out quick. He was like, as he normally does, he looked extraordinarily good in that first beginning of the race. Got out fast, and I was like, oh, will he be able to hold this? Because he was looking good for the first like 20, 30 meters or so, as he normally does, even throughout that first 60. We'll talk about Christian Miller in a second here, but he got out like hell, but then started breaking down. People started catching up to him, and so like that's got to be a frustrating thing, for him. This is the first team that he hasn't made in a long time. I think since 2021 with the Olympics, where he wasn't able to compete due to his suspension. So stinks for him. He missed the 2021 Olympics because of suspension. He misses this Olympics here because of not making the team. Wild to see. And he's what now, 28 years old, which means, Paris, when he's going to have a chance, he's going to be like 32. I mean, that's tough, to not really have a shot at that Olympic gold when you're such a talented athlete, because of, circumstances. So he's going to be missing out on this team. He'll still have that chance. He'll probably be in the the 4x1. So he's still probably going to be going to Paris and everything, but not for an individual team, which definitely feel bad for him, but it is what it is. I'm sure he'll be all right. But so he just wasn't looking too hot. Kenny Bednarek, though, he was looking very, very consistent. We've talked about this in the past. He's Mr. Consistent. Like, he does the right things every time consistently. And like, that's the key of being an elite level athlete, to not only do things when you need to, but do them all the time. And that's him. He got better every single race here. He set a new personal best of a 9.87 to get that second place. So he was looking fantastic. As some of you mentioned, yeah, he looked good through the first. Coleman looked good through the first 70. Just needs to close out stronger. I mean, that's the name of the game. If you can't close out, you're going to have a really tough time. But Kenny Bednarek, like, Mr. Consistency. And if I'm him, I'm feeling really good about going into the 200 meters. Now, what's interesting going into the 200, because Noah's going to feel just as good, if not is going to feel even better, because he equaled his personal best and he won the Olympic trials. So Noah Lyles is going to be feeling really good. Kenny Bednarek is going to be feeling really good. Fred Kerley, he's listed to run in the 200. 200. We'll see if he's going to continue doing it. I think the 100 is a stronger event. I don't know if he's as strong in the 2, but we'll see how that ends up going for him. So just a really, really cool race for there. Courtney Lindsay, he came in 6th with a 10:02. Brandon Hicklin, 7th, 10:03. Kendall Williams, 8th, with a 10:04, and then JT Smith rounding out the field with a 10:22. Now, let's get on over to Christian Miller. Just these high school kids, man. Like, we're going to have 2 high schoolers on Team USA. But that, like, think about that, because Quincy Wilson, he got into the final, so he's pretty much guaranteed to make it. And then Christian Miller came in 5th. And they usually have that top 6 be in the relay pool. So he really might as well be getting that Team USA kit. Now, it does depend an awful lot on who's going to be making this team in the 200, because that could potentially change on what athletes they're going to put in there. Because I guarantee you, if they have an opportunity to put somebody else on that prelim that's a pro, that's got that big time money, they probably gonna find a way to do it. But he's gonna be up there. Like, he's gonna be up there. And so the composure that kid has to have. If you're watching the trials, bro, I can't believe, I would love to talk to one of these athletes after this just about the tension that they have to be feeling. Because if you were going through and watching that Olympic trials, or when you watch the prelim, or them getting ready for the 100 meters for the final, the amount of tension that there was going into that is ridiculous. So if you missed it, what they do, they allow them to go through and run, like, do a couple warm-ups, and then they go back into the hallway, and they're just sitting in this hallway for like about a minute or so. And they're all like, everyone, it's only the athletes that are in there. And then one of the event organizers is saying, all right, go out, go out, go out. It's silent. And there was one cameraman there, and I can just imagine the tension there has to be, where you're standing or right alongside all these people. And you're like, I need to beat you, because like, all these people are trying to take money out of your pocket. If you make the Olympics, you're earning extra money. If you don't make the Olympics, you are getting money taken away from you, or you're not earning that money. And so you're looking at all these people that are actively trying to take money from you, and you're standing within 3 feet of them, silent, can't do nothing. That has to be an insane level of tension that there is going to be. And I would just probably start laughing. Like, I don't know what I would do. Like, if I'm just sitting there and like, I'm just like, geez Louise, like, this is crazy. Like, they didn't have the heartbeat monitor thing. Like, I would have loved for them to show the heart rate monitor on this, like, while they were waiting to go on into the race, because I'm telling you, that was probably hovering right around 200 beats per minute. It was crazy. But that was a really, really good race. Now, I thought for a half second during the warm-ups that Noah Lyles, because like, he kind of stumbled. He did his jump, like, firing up the crowd. Let's go, get pumped up. He stumbled a little bit, and I was like, oh God, did he just like roll his ankle? Is he going to come in dead last here because he just stumbled? This is going to be terrible. But he ended up doing well. He was completely fine. And if they showed his mom, and she just couldn't even look. She had her head down, just looking like this. She's like, "Oh Lord, I cannot watch my son do this race. Oh my God, I don't want to see it." But she was not having any of it, which was crazy. She's mentioned she doesn't watch like the starts of races. She'll look after the gun goes off. But Noah Lyles with the win. Now, what does this mean going into the Olympic trials? We are into the Olympics. Who's going to end up getting the Dubski and winning the 100 meters at the Olympics? You have obviously Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednark, Fred Kerley for Team USA. I mean, while I didn't have Fred Kerley winning this thing or getting on the team. While I didn't have that, the fact that he is a big champion, he's been at the Olympics, he's been an Olympic medalist, and we know what he can do at the Olympics here. That makes me believe, like, while I didn't think he was going to be able to do it at USA's, I have more confidence going into him, more confidence in him going into the Olympic trial or into the Olympics. I feel like since he's been there, he's done that, he knows what it is. I feel more confident with him in the Olympics than I do going into the Olympic trials, because I had no idea what to expect from you in going into the trials. Like if I had seen this type of performances more consistently, if I had seen some 9, some 10, some 9.8, some 9.9s, some 10s, you had ran some races, then I probably would have felt really confident. But I didn't see any of that. But now I have, so I think he's going to be looking good there. Kenny, he's Mr. Consistent, man. Like I feel he's definitely got a really good chance of being on that podium, because that, like, if he's running the way that he's running now, which there's no reason why he wouldn't, he's just, like I said, extraordinarily consistent. This type of performance could get it. Why am I not mentioning Oblique Seville? Because this is the U.S. Olympic trials. That is why. Once Oblique Seville competes for America, I will start talking about him. So Noah Lyles looked fantastic. Like right here, looking really good, really strong. His start, I think it was all right, but it wasn't it wasn't the best. I think the second half of his race was fantastic. So when I said fantastic, let me hedge that a little bit. The second half of his race looked very good. The first little bit, I didn't love. I didn't love his start. I think he got left in the blocks a tab there. No, Fred Kerley did not end up breaking the world record. He said world record next time I touch the track. He touched the track. He did not break the world record. So there's that. We'll have to see if he ends up getting it later on. I don't think so. Like I don't see a world where this 100-meter world record is getting broken, especially not this year. Like nobody is going through it. What happened to Coleman? That's a great question. Let's talk about Coleman right here. So what happened to Christian Coleman in this 100? Well, he didn't he started off really great. Like I was actually putting together I had the post that I did on Instagram where I'm putting together like who's the winner and all of that. I had it as Coleman winning. Like I was like, all right, I got the picture ready. I got it ready to go. Christian Coleman's gonna be the 100-meter champion here. And because he looked great through the first 70. His start was solid, and then it just like Christian Coleman did what Christian Coleman has done in the past, and he fell apart in the last 30, which was like it's tough to see. Like, yeah, I mean, he's a 60-meter guy right now, and it's like that's got to be a really difficult thing mentally, like to be going through as an athlete, of like he's lining up in these blocks knowing that it does, like, the first half of this race means jack diddly. It means absolutely nothing for him. Like being in the first part, it doesn't mean anything. He's got to be able to pull it together in the second half. And so like if I was him, like I would be feeling some tough stuff mentally of like, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this? Am I not going to do it? Blah, blah, blah. Like that, all that type of stuff would be really taxing on me mentally if I was an athlete. But yeah, like, I mean, Asafa Powell, like he starts off great, and then the last bit, just it's just not where it needs the most. And I would say it's a little different than Asafa Powell. I think Asafa Powell, where was it like he would do really well throughout the regular season, just wouldn't show up in the Olympics, or wouldn't show up at the big meets. That's not really Christian Coleman. Like Christian Coleman shows up in the big meets. Like he's made teams This is just, and unfortunately, the one that he didn't make. I'm sure he would probably want to flip flop the one last year and this year. I wouldn't say it's as much of a like Asafa Powell where he just wasn't performing at the big meets. For him, it's just like the last 20 meters of his race are just not as strong as they need to be for an athlete of his caliber, and that's what's super frustrating. And I'm sure he gets really frustrated. He got mental outwitted because never seen him fall apart. Time he ran semis. Yeah, I mean, like like I said, it's such a mental game right now, right? Like if you go, like once again, go back and take a look at the tension that they have going into these races. Like there's so much tension going into here. And if you're watching, share this stream with a friend. We're at 95 viewers. This is insane. Share it with a friend. Let's get up to 100. We're almost there. So share it up. Oh, there it is. 102. Thank you for everyone for listening or watching. This is crazy, especially at almost midnight. But so Coleman he fell apart in that 100, and it was unfortunate. And but I can't say it was unforeseen. So it's unfortunate, but not unforeseen. Like that's something that has been like part of his narrative. Like we talk about some athletes, like part of their narrative are injuries. Some other athletes, part of their narratives are not being able to do well at big races. Some other athletes, part of their narrative is, you're not finishing out races here where the last 20 meters are falling off. Those are different narratives that other athletes have. This is part of Christian Coleman's one. And it's like, how are we going to fix it? What's the coaching staff going to go through? And so we'll have to see how that's going to go. Wind reading 0.4. There wasn't really any wind reading here. It was pretty stagnant. It was really windy in the beginning, in the mornings. It was really windy, but that ended up dying down here. So now, who is going to be on this relay? There you go, Cindy. I think I said your name right. That's exactly what I was going to talk about. Who's going to be on this relay for the men's 100, for the men's 4x1 for Team USA? Man, Christian Coleman's still starter. Like, don't get it twisted. Christian Coleman is still going to be the 4x100 meter starter. Like, there's no way that doesn't happen. He is going to be the starter. So Christian Coleman's going to start off. Then number 2, I think number 2 is going to be Fred Kerley. I think Fred Kerley is going to be the second runner here. Number 3, I think we're going to get Kenny Bednarek. Like he's got one of the best curves that we've seen in all of sports, like in recent history. Kenny Bednarek has one of the best curves. I don't see a world where he's not going to be on that third leg. He eats up track. If you listen to the interview that I had with him, he was talking about how he's like the curve demon. Like that's what he does. Like dude is just like, he eats up track on the curve, and then bringing it home. It's got to be Noah Lyles. It's got to be. Yes, Fred Kerley did run the second leg at the Olympics last year, but remember, he also had a bad handoff to Ronnie Baker, which is the reason we weren't able to get into the to the finals last year. They were like kind of pushed it, and it was a really terrible handoff back in 2021. So hopefully he'll be learning from that. But I think that's got to be the like what it's going to be. Some other people you would think could potentially be on that team, but I would not put on there would be Erriyon Knighton, especially with everything going on with him and with the fact that he's had some suspension. The World Anti-Doping Association is actually trying to appeal that suspension and get him into to potentially be suspended again. I don't think Team USA is going to put him on the relay to jeopardize that medal for the rest of the team. So I think there's 0% chance that Erriyon Knighton is going to be on the 4x1 based off of that. So with all those tests, I don't think that he's going to be there. So for me, it's got to be Coleman to Fred to Eric to what's it called? Kenny Bednarek to to Noah Lyles. Now, what could we potentially see? Like, I mean, Courtney Lindsay, he's in 6th place. Remember, Courtney Lindsay was on that relay team that they ended up doing well at the World Relays. He was on that team. And so could they just run back, that team, have it be Christian Coleman, Courtney Lindsay, Kenny Bednarek, Noah Lyles? Could they do that? I think that is something that we could see. Yes, we're definitely going to talk about Quincy Wilson. Give it a second. We're finishing up this 4x1 talk. So I could see a world where they put Courtney Lindsay in there. I bet you Courtney Lindsay will probably run the prelim. So I bet you Courtney Lindsay will be in the prelim, and I bet you then they're going to put the team that I had in there, to being the end ended up in the final. But I think that's what we're going to end up seeing, especially depending on if any other events that these athletes are competing in. But there's really nobody else that I foresee them putting on that team. So yeah, Courtney Lindsay going to be on there. See, y'all are locked in. We got pretty much the exact same relay, exact same team. See, it's a little bit different from the women's 4x1 that we had yesterday, where there's a lot of different women that could have ended up being on that 4x1. For the men's 4x1, there's really not that many people. Like, I think the four are solidified. You could potentially get to five with it being Courtney Lindsay, but that's it. So with that being said, Christian Miller, the high schooler, I don't think is going to actually run in anything here. They may put him on the team to have him on the team because he usually take the top six, but I don't think that he's actually going to get on the track just based on politics and stuff. You know how things work, and it's not going to happen. So, but excellent 100. So once again, let's go over how everything broke down, and then we'll talk about a few other Quincy Wilson and everything going on there. So Noah Lyles was your U.S. Trials 100-meter champion with a 9.83, equaling his personal best. Kenny Bednarek, 9.87, new personal best, coming in second. Fred Curley, 9.88, new season's best, coming in third place. Those are your three individuals that are making the team. Then you got Christian Coleman coming in fourth with a 9.93. Christian Miller coming in fifth with a 9.98. Courtney Lindsay coming in sixth with a 10.02. Brandon Hicklin coming in seventh with a 10.03. Kendall Williams coming in eighth with a 10.04. And then JT Smith rounding out the field with a 10.22. Excellent work out there. Excellent work. Now, let's talk about some Quincy Wilson, man. Woo! Quincy Wilson. Another U18 world record with a time of 44.59. Damn. 44.59 at 16 years old. You got most 16-year-olds are running 54.59. He is running 10 seconds faster than probably the average person of his age. That is ridiculous. He is putting up like times that you see in relays damn near in high school. Like, the dude is absolutely cooking. Running like, and don't get it twisted, he ran back-to-back days setting a personal best. He set a personal best yesterday with the U18 world record. He runs it back again with another U18 world record the very next day. That is freaking hard, man. That's a lot of like weight on the body, and to see him ending up getting that world record, just ridiculous. So what can we see him doing? Because that was the fourth best time on the night. I don't think like that top three. I don't think that top three is going to get it. Like, in order to make that top three, he's going to have to run sub 44.5, and I don't think it's going to happen. I bet you he runs probably around what he did. Will he do another personal best? I think that would be pretty crazy to see. I don't know if we're going to see him run another personal best, but I mean, he's going to the Olympics. I mean, like, he's going to be making the Olympics because he's going to be in that relay pool and everything like that. So I don't think it'll be top three, but the fact that he's already here, like, he's going to probably be coming top six, top seven. Like, I don't think he's going to be coming in dead last here. He's on that Olympic team. Like, he's going to Paris, whether it's for the mixed relay, the relay pool, whatever it is, he's going to end up going there, dropping just some insane times. And so now it's like, I mean, I feel it's pretty solidified. He isn't going to be running college track. Like, I saw on some Instagram stuff, he was posting like, yeah, super excited to start getting the recruiting profile going. We saw, Georgia had sent the first letter. Y'all ain't got to send these letters. That kid ain't running college track. He's going straight pro, man. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if he doesn't run his senior year of high school. Like, I wouldn't be too surprised. Like, it's not too crazy to say that he's not going to continue running to track. Now, that's a good question, Derek. Is it really fair to doubt him? He steps up so far. That's a great question. I don't think it's doubting him as much as it's like, because if like think of it the other way, like, oh, is it really fair to doubt him? Well, is it also really fair to doubt all the other pros that have been doing this for longer than he's been alive? Like, I mean, you could say that exact same thing of it, where I mean, you've got Michael Norman, like, so you're saying he's not going to? So Michael Norman, are you going to doubt him? Vernon Norwood, you going to doubt him? Bryson Dedman, you going to doubt him? Quincy Hall, you going to doubt him? Like, there's always doubts that you could go through. So it's like, I don't. While I don't think it's as much of a doubt as it's like this is going to be his hardest challenge yet, and for the fact that he's even gotten to this place is nuts. But 44-3, if he runs a 44-3, I'm going home. I'm packing it up. I'm packing it up and going home. That would be ridiculous. That would be a U20 world record, I would think, right? Maybe. But so Quincy, insane individual. He'll be on that relay. I like seeing Matthew Bowling. He'll be heading up to the Olympics, so great for him. I know he's had some difficulties changing events, trying to figure out exactly what his professional track and field career is going to look like, and he's changing this stuff right now. And now he's like, I think he's in that groove. He's got the 400. He's making the team. He ran a personal best of a 44.91. Like, we talked to him a little while ago when we were at the New York City Grand Prix, and he was really pumped up of how he was doing and how he was performing. So if I'm going with who I think is going to be the top three in the 100 or the 400 based on what we're seeing, so I'm not changing my picks from the other day. Keep in mind, I'm keeping my picks, but if I'm going off of the current knowledge of what I've got, I think I think Michael Norman is going to end up getting the win. I like the way that Quincy Hall has been looking recently. And then I think Christopher Bailey is going to come in third. And I bet you that Bryce Dedman will be fourth, Quincy fifth, and then we'll see Matthew Bowling in sixth there. So I bet you that's going to be something around there. Oh, geez, the U20 was 43.89. Yeah, so he ain't breaking the U20. He ain't breaking the U20. He will eventually. That U20 world record will be broken eventually by him, I bet. But he ain't running a 43.89 right now. But so that was insane. We gonna have potentially two high schoolers making it on Team USA with Quincy and then with Christian Miller. So phenomenal racing from them. I'll be interested to see who's going to be on that 4x4 team, because you also have Rai Benjamin, who they usually like to put on that 4x4 team. So that always kind of changes things up in what that's going to be looking like. So let's head on over to the women's 400 meter final. Kendall Ellis. So she didn't set a personal best for over 6 years. She then goes back-to-back days setting personal bests, wins the U.S. trials. The top three women in the final here that ended up going off to Team USA, all three of them setting personal bests, with Aaliyah Butler from Georgia, who came in second, and then Alexis Holmes of Nike coming in third place with a 49.78. So now another interesting story is who's going to be in this Team USA for the 4x4, because there's a lot of politics there. Obviously, you got Sydney McLaughlin that's going to be on there on that 4x4. And then after that, it gets pretty open. Gabby Thomas has voiced how she really wants to be on this 4x4. So could we see her in there? She dropped the original 400 in this race just to do the two, but could she potentially be in there? We saw Abby Steiner get in there in the 2022 season. So could we see her coming on back and potentially be in there, despite she has had some injuries and everything like that? You obviously have the three women that are currently in this race. What's it going to look like for them? Shamir Little, while she came in 8th place here, she's probably going to be coming in second or third in the 400 meter hurdles. So will we see her in there? Because she's probably going to be making it in that team as well. So there's just a lot of politics that we got going on there. So we'll have to see what it's going to be. And yeah, we got Fred Curley wearing the Nike spikes. There we go, looking good for him. So just real overall, very solid performances from everyone. And if you missed, Kendall Ellis actually talked about she got locked in a bathroom before she went to the what's it called, like her race yesterday. She was locked in a bathroom for like an hour somehow. How does that happen? Like, how do you get locked in a bathroom? That's what I want to know. Like, don't they lock from the inside? They shouldn't be locking from the outside. Somehow she got locked in. Is what it is. Whatever. So great day for some track and field. Tomorrow, what does stuff look like for tomorrow? So first event, women's the heptathlon long jump that starts at 1 p.m. These are all Eastern Standard Time. Javelin for the heptathlon, 2:10 p.m. Discus, first round at 8 p.m. 110 hurdles, first round, 8:05 p.m. So the first race, watch out for that. 110 hurdles, 8:05 p.m. Women's high jump final, 8:15 p.m. Long jump final, 8:25 p.m. 1,500 meters for the men final at 8:47. The steeplechase at 8:59 p.m. Women prelim. Heptathlon 800 meters. That's going to be at 9:37. Then the men's 400 meter final at 9:59. The women's 5K at 10:09, and then the women's 800 at 10:32. So we got a lot of really good races coming up for you guys tomorrow. But last kind of recap of what we talked about, the 100, Noah Lyles defending, or I guess he didn't defend because he didn't win it at USA's, but winning the US championship. He's going to be coming in with so much confidence. I think it's going to be hard for Kenny to get this win now, but also this is probably a lot of motivation for Kenny of the fact that, hey, I lost 3 races in a row to Noah Lyles in the 100. I ain't letting that happen again. I'm coming through. I'm winning in the 200. I could see that happening. And then Fred Curley, surprising myself. I did not think that Fred Curley was going to have it in him. I thought he was missing the team. He ended up getting the win of the team. Fantastic for him. And then Christian Coleman, the notable name, getting left out, which was unfortunate. And then Christian Miller coming in 5th place, race of his life. Doing really well. I'm sure his heart was beating through his freaking chest there, but good on him for that. And then Quincy Wilson, the high schooler, makes the Olympic team, runs a U18 world record, just shows this kid is on an absolute roll. So that's going to be it for us tonight for the Olympic trials day 3 reactions. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. We're probably not going to do this for tomorrow. We'll most likely be bringing this back when the 200 is coming on. So look out for that. Stay tuned. But thank you, everyone. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please do so, and then tell a friend to subscribe. Get people joining. This live has been fantastic. It's crazy to think we've had over 100 people coming through here. So really good. Yeah, he didn't make the team yet, but as long as nothing crazy happens, he's making the team. Like if he finishes the race, he's making the team. So yeah, you're right. Technically he didn't, but for all intents and purposes, I think he's going to be on it. Thank you all for watching. This has been fantastic. Have a good one. Aaron Brown, shout out to Noah. Glad you like him. All right. See you, dude. Peace.